Hello everybody in England. I've been in America 2.5 years now, and I want to show you a film of what I've been up to, the amazing theatres I've worked at, and I must start first of all with a few pictures of Sharon, without whom I wouldn't have got started in the exciting way that I did.
Sorry, I'm not quite following you.
It's a credit card that you can use for pet care. It's a health credit card.
Can I use it for me?
Yes, but there's not a whole lot. There's only like $2,000 on it, but I can use it for the cats or something. You can use it for cosmetic surgery or things that. Put that in my other bag.
I can use it for cosmetic surgery?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
You want to get some.
Okay.
This was all filmed in July and August of 2005. We had been loaned an apartment in the famous West Village area of New York.
You want to do a scene? She wants to do a scene. You want to do a scene from a Tennessee Williams play? You don't know that? You want to be Cleopatra? You want to do... No? Not in the mood?
This is a view from our roof, and not only am I still trying to learn how to edit this film, but I'm afraid the content of it isn't always very suitably spliced, because across the views of the Hudson River beside our apartment to the state of New York, you'll see on the left of the screen coming up where the Twin Towers used to exist, which is always in the minds of New Yorkers.
Are you on a close-up on me? Is it a good close-up, or am I just one small bit in the middle of all these buildings?
I think you're pretty close in that you're filling up the camera.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Let's cut there.
Let's cut there then. Oh, but it's so nice.
You press the red thing in the front.
All right, dear.
And then it cuts.
I did.
Oh, good, okay.
Just
I'm afraid I'm jumping from one scene to another very quickly because I need to cut the film down to 10 minutes for it to go up on Ubay. But this is the promontory beside our apartment where I used to spend July and August sitting in the sun. I found I was just utterly exhausted in these early months after arriving in America, and I found that I really hated living in the West Village. The shops seemed to consist so much of Condommania and Tattoo Heaven and whatever this shop is, and 50% off musical legs and so on, and I really talked Sharon into moving.
And I think the point has been made. It's a shame because it's especially in the evenings. So I'm just going to take you across the road now and go into the subway and go uptown, where I'm going to be looking at an apartment in the Hell's Kitchen area before one this afternoon, which hopefully we might actually take. So, oops, I do beg your pardon, sorry. Down into the subway.
How everyone in New York isn't completely deaf from the noise of the subway, I don't know. But this brings us out even more central in Manhattan, well, the absolute centre. And one of the things that just so excited me, and still does, that when you look down one street, it seems perhaps silly to watch on a film, but you see all the way down the street because everything's straight in New York. And it's just extraordinary seeing these rectangles of sky everywhere you look, and the theatres and the excitement and the rush of the centre of New York. And anyway, this particular journey...
The reason that I'm actually here is not just to try and share the fun of these buildings here, but to move us down to the Hell's Kitchen area where there are some apartments that I'm now going to go and see.
But two things happened before we moved house.
You may already know that I just had a couple of days in California seeing my second cousin who's been diagnosed with a brain tumour, whose wife died the second she heard about it, and Sharon was meanwhile in and out of hospital here. And now we're back in the apartment and she's diagnosed as being overworked.
I think we'll just pass over this and say that life was difficult, but a few months later things had changed.
So here we are, jumping from months ago, it seems, to Starbucks in the middle of the village, and a lot has changed. I was going to include a vast amount of very tedious material about that work in Upper Rottenbury in those days, about finding a place, which was quite hectic, but we now have a place in the middle of Greenwich Village, which will show you a little bit about in a minute. And life is a whole lot better for a whole number of amazing reasons, including the fact that we are now married. Cut.
So Sharon was just amazingly helpful and supportive and encouraging. So here we are with views of round the corner from our next place. But I need to tell you that Sharon had been so amazingly supportive and helpful and encouraging and informative, and was helping me get myself organised with all the unions. And here we are by the side of our apartment in Washington Square with a neo-Jewish rap artist, and Sharon finding some cheap T-shirts because she lived on nothing, and we lived by 4th Street, which is a little bit further down Manhattan, but still incredibly central. And I'd found this place which Sharon had agreed that happily she agreed to everything, up on the 6th floor there, a 6th floor walk up, for about 150 stairs or something or other. And it seemed quite pleasant in the daytime, but unfortunately all these bars opened up till 4 in the morning or something. I mean, the noise was terrible. I got the place while Sharon was in hospital or booked with work, and she'd agreed to the place. And suddenly, however, here we were at last, or I was, in the countryside of Massachusetts, and a whole new change was happening. And in this, you look at this place, suddenly we're outside New York, suddenly we're in the countryside. There seems to be nothing going on, just nothing by the side of it but trees and forests. And you go down this minor road of the millions of roads in America, and you turn right, and suddenly here is, in the middle of Massachusetts, Shakespeare and Company. My first big, serious equity job here, playing today Merry Wives of Windsor and Martha Mitchell Calling, in which amazingly I was playing the Attorney General John Mitchell. But to see the really extraordinary, amazing conditions of this theatre, and for more of my adventures, you will now have to turn to film number 2.